Poised for Exit is a show for business owners who want to achieve a successful exit based on their own terms. Your business exit will likely be the biggest financial transaction of your life, and for most, you'll have one shot at doing it right. The topics and guests we feature and the stories they share will provide valuable ideas and strategies to improve operations and grow enterprise value so you can achieve the best possible exit outcome. Now here's your host, award-winning certified exit planning advisor, Julie Keys.
Welcome everyone to the Poised for Exit podcast show. Today's guest has been a longtime client of mine and is the founder and owner of a sporting goods store with a unique service offering that truly sets them apart from their competitors. We're going to hear about his story of success and business transition process right after these messages.
Thinking about selling your business in the next few years? Don't wait to start planning. I've seen too many business owners wait too long and regret it. Freedom Financial Partners are financial advisors who specialize in exit planning for business owners, helping you reduce tax surprises, protect what you've built, and quantify how much you need from the sale. Their proven process helps you think beyond your business so you can move forward with clarity and confidence. The longer you wait, the fewer options you may have. Download your free financial readiness assessment today at ffpforme.com/exit. That's ffpforme.com/exit.
My name is Todd Crow, and I'm the president of the Twin Cities Exit Planning Chapter. If you're a business owner and advisor and want to learn more about the world of exit planning, you're invited to visit the Twin Cities chapter of the Exit Planning Institute. You can expect top-level education delivered by subject matter experts at every monthly meeting. Grow your network and draw from the learning that could be a game changer for your business or your practice. There's no pressure to become a member, so come and see what the buzz is all about. Our meetings are held the second Wednesday of the month, 7:30 to 9 a.m. See the show notes for more information and registration links.
Exiting your business is a big deal, both financially and emotionally. I'm John Marquet, Certified Exit Planning Advisor with TrustPoint. We help business owners transition smoothly on their terms. Our focus is on maximizing value, minimizing stress, and giving you confidence in what's next. Whether you're selling or passing the torch, we make the process seamless. Start planning today at trustpointinc.com. That's trustpointinc.com.
Are you a business owner getting ready to transition? If so, I recommend True North Mergers and Acquisitions as your confidential strategic partner. They understand your business sale isn't just about one buyer and the price, but what you net that counts. In other words, what you get to keep. When you're ready for a higher level of representation that delivers consistent results, contact True North M&A to do the heavy lifting of selling your business. Learn more at tnma.com. That's tnma.com.
Hello, Poised for Exit listeners. We are here today with Brad Nelson, who is the founder and president of High Tempo Sports and the Foot Lab. Brad, welcome to Poised for Exit.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you for inviting me. Glad to be here.
I'm so glad that you are. We were just talking before the show started about when did we actually start working together, and I think it was 5 years ago, but it seems longer. I mean, in a good way.
It really does. It really does. It's been an important part for me and our staff and my wife to have someone like you in this role that we've come together on, and it's just been a great relationship. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I've appreciated working with you too. You've built a really great business, and we're going to hear about that. So maybe what we'll start out with is just talking about how you and Debbie founded High Tempo Sports a long time ago at a very young age, and maybe just a little bit about that journey and what that's been like.
Sure. Actually, we did not found it. We've been at it now for 47 years, but
Oh, I forgot about that. You weren't the founders.
that's
Seems
right.
like it. 47
actually-
years. Sounds like
It
a fun.
actually started in a garage in Bald Eagle Lake, which is in
Okay.
White Bear Lake area, and they moved it out of that garage in 1961, having built this building right here. And Debbie and I bought it, and along with a partner in 1978. So at that point, I was 23 years old, and Debbie and I had met by teaching skiing together. And we were in junior instructor classes, and our ski school director, Bill Rhodes, hired us both. And we ended up getting married. And, kind of a serendipitous part of the journey is her mother worked at this shop and knew that the owners of the shop were trying to sell. It was three original 3M employees that had owned it. Two of them had stayed with 3M. In fact, it was 3M International, and one of them had left 3M to come and work in here. And
Mm,
it was just time for them to move on to the next adventure, the next thing. And I had worked for this individual, my partner at that point, all through college. And I happened to bump into him and said, "Oh, yeah, gosh, here's what's going on, and what's new with you? What's new with me?" And he found out about the ski shop. He said, "Gosh, let's go buy that thing." So that's how much thought we put into getting into this business.
sure.
And so here we are 47 years later, and
Mm.
not ready to actually leave yet, but well on the first step out the door, kind of a thing.
Yeah, well, I'd say you're more than one step out the door. You've done a really good job of decentralizing yourself. And you're having fun with the Foot Lab. So we need to talk about both that, and high tempo and how they collaborate and work together. I said that, like I said in the opener of the show, that you have a very unique service offering that truly sets you apart from your competitors, and that's the Foot Lab. And so I know that, our audience doesn't know this, but you have mostly transitioned high tempo to your management team.
That's exactly right.
Hmm.
When Debbie and I first got started, I was the equipment person, she was the clothing person. Back in those days, the ski boot manufacturing community held schools, classes. They would come to a city, and all the ski shops from around the city would come together, and we'd learn how to fit boots and solve problems and so on and so on. Part of the ski boot world is custom fitting and orthotics. And because of my teaching background, I got into the sport looking through the lenses of teaching. And one of the things I remember about being an instructor is I would run into people that were super fit and really motivated, good gear, and I would think to myself, this is going to be a piece of cake. I can just mail this one in. We'll get these people pointed in the right direction, and some of them, actually, kind of a lot of them, really struggled. And my
Mm,
recourse at that point was to teach harder, and that didn't work, and ask them to learn quicker, and that didn't work. And I figured that if the ski industry was really good at telling everybody that this ski and this boot is going to make you ski better, and it occurred to me that that's not, there's something missing here. So
mm,
I went to the national trade show, went to every ski boot orthotic vendor in the industry and had an orthotic made. And I had 5 of them, went out and skied on all of them, took one run, came back up, sat in the snow, pulled my boots apart, put a different set of orthotics in, take a second run. Four of the 5 that I skied on all felt the same. I got onto the 5th orthotic, made the first turn, and it was like, oh my gosh, what just happened here? This is significantly better and different from what is available in the industry. And that orthotic was made by a pedorthist, a certified pedorthist. Um, I started going down that rabbit hole and realized that I've been fitting boots for a long time at that point, and I had no idea why this thing was working the way it was supposed to.
yeah,
That put me down into going into the training, into the background, and all the stuff that is required to become a certified pedorthist. We created a division of high tempo at that time, more of a department
sure.
called the Foot Lab. And the Foot Lab has been going now for 15, 20 years, somewhere in that range. And
Wow.
we now do more orthotics for general footwear than we do for ski stuff. It's turned into be
Yeah.
just a tremendous program, both profitable for the business
Yeah.
and really meaningful to me. As I've kind of transitioned out of the ski and the boat and kayak business, the pedorthic business it's extremely rewarding. It's not cliche to say that people hobble in and walk out, and that's the part of the business that I really enjoy. I don't want to leave that. I can do it on my own basis, and
Yeah.
I hope to be able to continue to do that for a number of years.
Well, like you said, it's fulfilling for you because it's life-changing for your customers, right? I mean, you could almost call them patients.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a
and
really good point.
speaking of patients, like you're getting patients. I know this because we work together from doctors and chiropractors, and the medical community is sending their patients to you for orthotics. The shoe retailers are sending people to you because no one can build an orthotic like you can.
In the medical world, the general practitioner, the orthopedic surgeon, the chiropractor, the podiatrist, they're kind of all the boss of me. They're above my pay grade, but none of those people study building orthotics. So my scope of
Mhm.
practice is from the ankle bone down, and all we work with is supporting the foot. And the foot is, of course, uh, decides how the knee reacts, decides how the hip reacts. So that whole kinetic chain is all based on the stability of the foot. Lots of people come into us because of knee issues and back issues rather than foot issues. And as we've done this for this many years now, we've had a lot of referrals from a lot of different folks, and that's kind of built our business.
Well, and I know you've said this before, and it just kind of shocked me, but like a lot of knee and back and hip surgeries probably could have been avoided if people were wearing the right shoes.
That's exactly right, and the right support. You know,
Yes.
your foot takes its shape at age 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So we've always all had the feet we have, and it gets to a particular age where, oh my gosh, what just happened? My knees are killing me, my back. And those are the people that end up getting new knees and new hips and all that stuff at a later age. But the inserts that come inside shoes are not designed to support the foot. They're designed to make the foot comfy when they put their foot inside the shoe. The human foot is as unique to us as our fingerprints are, so everybody has a different shaped foot. So if the insert that was inside the shoe was perfectly supportive for me and my foot, it would be offensive to the other people putting that on. So the insert is just designed to have a soft piece of cushioned foam. It's my opinion that anybody who buys shoes should remove that insert, put something like a Superfeet or maybe a Dr. Scholl's or something in there just for better support. But once someone gets to the point of pain in the knee, the back, or the foot, then you've crossed the line and it's time for a prescription device, which is what we built.
Well, boy, if they came in and got a prescription device ahead of time, what a difference that would make, right?
What a
Which is
difference.
why you got such a great following with the people that are in the athletic industry because, it's all about your feet. If your feet aren't happy, then you can't perform properly.
That's exactly right. And one of the challenges of the industry is how do we intervene in the sport world for youth athletes? We certainly do a lot of ski orthotics because we're in the ski business, but soccer and lacrosse, oh my gosh, basketball, baseball, football. I mean, it's just,
Yeah,
at that point, you're too young to get really, really hurt. But those are the things that are going to affect your lifestyle when you get to be, 40s and 50s and beyond.
sure. Yeah. And for people who are athletes at a young age, they're most likely to still want to be athletes at an older age, right? It doesn't leave you. You are who you are. Like, you're an active person. I'm an active person. I love to be outside. I love to do stuff. Can I do things the way I used to? Probably not, but, still do stuff.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
It
Well,
keeps you in the game.
I love the work that you're doing there at High Tempo in the Foot Lab, and I know that you have so many loyal customers that you've built over the years, all over the state of Minnesota and Midwest, as far as I know, right? Because you're such a unique organization. Now, on the High Tempo side, you're covering not only skiing, but you also have a summer business with boats and kayaks and all of that. So for our listeners who are looking for equipment to have a great summer, you got to think about High Tempo. Let's go back to the transition planning process, and maybe you could explain a little bit about how that's working for you, what you decided to do. I know legacy is really important to you, so let's just go there for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, the thing that you start when you get this many years into the business, 47 years, you look back at how you started. And when I got into the business, I figured because I could turn skis right and left, I knew everything there was to know about the ski business. And because I had bought things at Target before, I knew everything about the retail business, and it was just a train wreck, when we started. And I just have had this strong sense that A, you need to know what you're doing before you get into whatever it is you get into, and B, there's a timeline, and
Mm,
I had, honestly, when we bought the business, we assumed the debt of the company moving forward. And that debt became just incredibly burdensome. And I
mm,
wanted my transition and the shifting to the new ownership group, which has been with me for many, many years, to be free of that kind of a worry. So the transition started early. We got the process started. They're clearly, my partner now, Jeremy, is clearly, he's smarter in the ski business and the boat business than I am, because he's been doing it for so long. And I wanted to make sure that he had the runway he needed in his succession planning to make this work for him like it's worked for me. Our
mhm,
company right now is 73 years old, and my goal is to make it to 100. I'm not going to be around for that, but I want
mhm.
Jeremy to be around for that. And everything that you and I have worked for has had his picture on the top of the page. How do
Yes.
we make this successful for him? And it's been a great journey for me. It's very fulfilling to be able to put a plan together that is not onerous on him. There's not a lot of debt, all those types of things. So clearly this is a win-win situation for Debbie and I, and for Jeremy and
Mhm,
Alex. And the more I could do to help him succeed, the better it is for Debbie and I as we move into retirement. So, and working with you is what brought that out, helping think through that process about, this is how it's usually done. This is how a lot of people do it. And, well, how do we craft something different? And
mhm.
the thing about me getting into the ski business, not knowing anything about retail or the ski business, has been imprinted on my brain. I don't know a single thing about succession. Not only were your words and guidance important for us, but your Rolodex must be a mile deep. You have turned me on to so many different people that have crafted and put this program together, and that's what made it work. I can't imagine doing this on my own, or trying to figure out how to get it done. And I've had tons of people in the ski industry ask me, how's that going for you? We've referred them to you. It's um,
Yeah.
it's just one of those lucky things that you stumble into. And it was lucky that I had a conversation with my banker and said, you should go talk to Julie. She's
Bob
the
Morse.
person. Yeah, Bob Morris. That's exactly
Mm-hmm.
right.
Great guy.
Yeah, great guy. Mid-Country Bank.
Yep. And then you worked with Dave Peterson at Dunlap Seeger, and he helped you on the legal end and arrange your agreement and buyout with Jeremy. And then you worked with Kyla Hansen at Johnny Knutson, and she helped you with your valuation. So yeah, you've had some good people on your team, and I'm proud that I was able to help you facilitate all that. And Bob started it all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Another one of those serendipitous things that, I think back my whole career of how on earth did this happen? How did I get here? And it was just a chance conversation with Bob that, was just tipped the boulder rolling down the hill. And, here's where it ended up. It's just been great, just great
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah, I'm really happy about that. And that's the way business transition is supposed to be. The last thing that I want for my clients, or that any business owner would want, is to get at the end of it all and just go, wow, I made a lot of mistakes and I wish I wouldn't have done it this way. But that's the truth of many owners and their, post-exit sentiments, because they didn't plan well and they didn't think things through. And that's not going to be the case for you, which I'm really happy about. So I think that for the owners who are listening out there, there is light at the end of that tunnel, and planning is at the top of that list. But also, like for you, having a really good idea of what you want to do and how you want to spend your life. And you're going to continue to work, but you're going to do it on your own terms, which is beautiful.
That's exactly right. You know,
Mm-hmm.
In the ski industry, I know of a number of people that just get to a point where enough, and this is enough. I've had enough.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, that's what a mistake that is. Having a timeline to talk about it early. If you're going to retire after 40 years, I'd say you darn well should be thinking about it at 30 years.
Hmm.
And even you and I, we're well into the succession process. You're one of my mentors now. We meet quarterly and we talk. The succession thing is in the rearview mirror, but having someone, we built the kind of relationship where it's almost like you're a board of directors member with me. Here's what
Hmm.
we're with now. We've been intimate through all the conversations, all the skeletons and all the background and all the stuff that has went on, and understand my perspective and what I'm thinking about. And it was so valuable for us. We just keep doing it. It's worked really well.
Well, and you're also a person who is smart enough to know that you don't have all the answers. And I don't either, right? Admittedly, but we bring people in who do. And for many business owners, they're DIY people by nature, which I can respect because I'm that way in a certain sense as well. But when I'm over my skis, I'm over my skis, pun intended.
You wrote that down so you could drop that
No, it just came to
in.
me. It just came to me. Sitting here with the king of skis, you know.
Yeah. For me, that my ignorance in coming in is burned into my psyche. What
Yeah.
was I thinking? There is no
Well,
possible way this thing should have ever hung on for as long as it has, because I just to how embarrassing it is when I walked into the store the first day as the new owner. I didn't know how to open the cash register. There
mm,
was this monstrous NCR machine there. What on earth is this? I was expecting a cigar box, and it was this huge computerized thing. And luckily, there were some people that had worked there before that could teach me. But
wow.
and I'm embarrassed to say it went downhill from there. So, but here we
Yeah.
are today.
Tough lessons. I think anybody out there listening who's an entrepreneur could nod their head in agreement that sometimes we just fail our way to success and we learn tough lessons. Um, but it's because of our trailblazing persona, right? We just pick ourselves back up and keep going. And that's what you've
Yeah.
done. And here you are. You've learned some lessons. Maybe with the couple minutes we have remaining, you could share for whoever's listening out there who might be inspired by your story and wants to hear some advice from you. What would it look like?
Well, for me, the lucky thing that happened in my life happened at age 16. My dad gave me a book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by
Oh,
Dale Carnegie.
that's a great book. Yeah.
And I promptly threw it on my dresser and said, okay, that's really great, Dad. Thanks.
Mm,
But about 5 years later, I picked it up and I started reading it. And another rabbit hole I dove down was personal growth, Napoleon Hill and Brian
yeah.
Tracy, and gosh, all
All the
Og,
kings.
Og Magdingo, and all those names, all those people that have written these incredible books. And the one thing I realized early on is I am responsible. This is
Yes.
not somebody else's fault. I'm in a stink of a mess here, and it's up to me. If this is going to work, it's up to me. I'm not blaming anyone other than myself. And we owed so much money to the industry when we started. And I called those credit managers every single week, all those credit managers every single week. I'm still alive. Here we're moving. This is the plan, da 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 da. And to their credit, all of those guys just stuck with us, and it was just quit whining and start. The other thing that kind of happened to me is, Debbie and I was 23, and we had nothing, and it
Hmm.
finally came to an understanding that we have nothing. So if we lose everything, we still have nothing. So I'll just keep going at this, and if it doesn't work, I'll go work for 3M.
Yeah, for
And it
sure.
worked. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you both are very intelligent, talented people. So, but you stuck it out because you believed.
Yeah.
Yeah. How to Win Friends and Influence People. I haven't thought about that book in years, but when I was in college, I took a class called The Psychology of Human Relations, and the whole class was based on that book.
Yeah, it's
The
amazing.
whole class. Yeah.
You're never taught that in school. You're never
No,
taught it in high school.
no, but
And
it was
we see it a
invaluable.
lot. I told you, we've had 800 kids work for us.
Hmm.
And they're
800 kids.
800 kids, yeah. And
Wow.
the ability to have a pleasant conversation with a complete stranger is so important. It doesn't matter how smart you are.
No.
When you go in and you have that conversation with the interview person and you can have a pleasant conversation, man, that's it. That's all I need to hear when I'm interviewing somebody.
Hmm.
And we can teach you the rest. But are you a pleasant do you smile? Can you make people feel comfortable with your conversation?
Yeah.
Really important to me.
Yeah, well, for sure, because they're customer facing and we want to make sure that they care, right?
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Well, you've done such a good job with everything that you've done and, staying with it and building. And, I know that you've had your daughter involved in the business as well. And being a champion for pedorthists out there and for people who have foot problems. I mean, it runs the gamut, right? You have people that have diabetes, you have elderly, you have athletes, you have, you know. So for anybody out there, just putting in a plug here again for the Foot Lab and High Tempo. We'll have your contact information in the show notes so people can get a hold of you, or not necessarily you, but the company, right? Because you're going to be out golfing or biking or something. At least I hope so. But you're still there and you're still making decisions, which is great. And so thank you for sharing your story with us, Brad. As always, transparent, helpful, insightful. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Julie. And thanks
Mm.
again for all the help you've been to Debbie and I and to Jeremy and Alex in moving it forward.
Absolutely. We'll be there going forward as well. So thanks everybody too for listening, and please share this episode with your friends and colleagues and join us again next time.